How dare you?
Oh.
You know, this podcast was about to be great.
Oh, shit.
And now it's not.
Okay.
But we are.
Well, who's playing? Let's see if we're going to root for the same people, because I have no idea about football.
The 49ers and the Chiefs.
Okay, I knew.
So
I
where is
thought
each one
49ers.
from? 49ers?
San Francisco.
Kansas City,
and
San Francisco.
And the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
San Francisco, obviously, right?
Well, actually, no.
Oh.
It'll probably be Kansas City is probably going to... I want 49ers to win.
Uh-huh.
Same.
But the odds are...
Kansas City is probably going to win. But I will say
You're
this.
hopeful.
I will say this. The Simpsons predicted that the Niners would win in Miami, and that's where they're playing.
That's some crazy shit.
Years ago.
I don't want to get into the Simpsons, whole
They have
theory.
all these synchronicities.
So I believe you on that one.
But hey, guys, we are recording.
Oh, shit. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. We out here.
Welcome to the Tank Rodriguez Show, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you appreciate that little Super Bowl rant with one non-sports person who was rooting against the Patriots, who are not even in the Super Bowl. My dear friend Marissa, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Tank. It's good to be here.
It is very good to be here, and her wonderful boyfriend is joining us.
Hey,
Cody,
how's it going?
the Coadster,
The coaster.
which is my nickname. I was telling him
coaster.
He was telling
the
me
roller
that,
coaster.
Is that your name, Cody?
Yeah, I was telling him my best friend Todd, who actually used to be a co-host of the show, when we first started, like in 2015. He noticed that like majority of my friends were white. So, and I'm pretty much a coconut, you know, brown on the out, white on the in. So he just started calling me Cody one day, and so anytime
I remember you saying that.
and so anytime I call him or he calls me, he goes, Cody, what are you doing? I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's like, and then like if like other companies around, like, who's Cody? Like,
It could be worse. At least you're not like Chody.
Chody, Chody,
Yeah,
Cody.
that's another nickname.
Oh man,
Cody is a very white name.
Yeah.
that's one. It's it's the roller coaster, but it's also a bro name.
Yeah,
It's a pretty bro name. But all right, guys.
All right, Chad, Cody.
So this is another episode. I haven't named this, but it's basically advice for guys. Originally, it was just going to be all women, but the fact that you brought Cody, I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm expanding on this idea of the series for the podcast.
Why limit it?
Why limit it? Exactly. So I'm excited to talk to y'all about y'all's relationship and any advice you have for any guys out there that are single and looking to mingle. The do's and don'ts, or just talk about y'all's lives, and I'm sure something's going to come of it, a little nugget that they can grab from it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, anybody. Yeah.
Exactly. So, guys, I mean, I know this is obvious, but, how long y'all been together?
Almost 3 years.
3 years.
So we got together. 3 years it'll be in April. Almost on Rex Manning Day, the day after Rex Manning Day.
You can't get together on Rex Manning Day.
No, we mustn't dwell.
What is
Empire
that, April
Records.
8th?
Empire Records, huh?
Rex Manning is 8th?
I think Rex Manning is, it's the 8th, and ours is on the 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, Cody, did you pursue her, Marissa, or did Marissa pursue you?
No, I mean, we met
We right swiped.
Tinder. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
So,
okay. Before we get into that, intentions of Tinder for both of y'all.
You first.
I definitely was open to something serious.
But at the time, like, because for me, I don't use dating apps whatsoever.
Are you saying like when we made the profile or when we saw this person?
No, when you made the profile, what was the full intent of this? I mean, and again, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. I'm just curious to know if it's legitimately for hooking up or actually just trying to find somebody.
Right. I feel comfortable answering that. I mean, I was living in a living room. I just moved into my best friend's apartment down there. So new to San Antonio, and he was hooking up with a lot of people, and I was open to just hookups or, serious dating, which I was hopeful for, but I wasn't optimistic about, I guess.
Yeah, being what it is, being what the app is itself.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
I was just lonely. I was just like as a girl, or as a woman, as a young woman who I guess I've always been in like a serious relationship, or I've always been with somebody or like had somebody there. Like I've never really been alone, and then right before, I guess because we met in April, I guess like that January, like around this time, the year we met, I like had moved back to my parents and like had just broken up with like an abusive boyfriend and then like an in-between, and then I was just lonely and like wanted something for me. So because I didn't have my apartment, I didn't have like a job, I didn't have anything for me. So
Right.
I was just like, maybe somebody will still like me like after I don't have anything. Like, let me just post a racy photo and see what happens. You know?
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so y'all swipe right. Mm-hmm. And
the bio was.
I don't remember. I was doing a lot of experimental.
Yeah, like, okay, his picture. I wish I still had the Tinder app, but we deleted that long ago.
I would hope so.
Like a year ago, we re-downloaded it to like look at our first conversation.
Yeah.
Which his pickup line. Tell him pickup line. He was like.
These aren't original, really.
No.
Just very cheesy.
Well, because and I don't know if anybody's on Tinder, but as a woman on Tinder, you get like.
You gotta stand out.
As part of the game.
Yeah, you want to do something that stands out, but still isn't.
That feels like home, but like it feels like something you're expecting, like a pickup line, but it's a little off.
Yeah.
You know. So what got me was I don't remember specifically.
I think I said, did it hurt when you fell from Tennessee?
Yeah, it was like a mix of like two
and
pickup
then
lines.
And it was just like, what the hell are you talking about? So,
yeah.
And it worked.
And I think my first response was, oh, almost, with like a sad face.
Yeah.
And then he tried it again, and we went from there.
Yeah. And that was one I just threw out thinking, this isn't going to work, you know? Like,
and his bio was nothing like, okay, so his picture was, it's like... I don't know, guys. You guys need to work on your pictures, your profile pictures.
Pictures.
Yes, write it down.
What's an ideal Tinder picture?
Don't go heavy on the filters, my friends.
Gym photos.
I'm not. That depends on who you're trying to attract.
Okay.
Like I'm not really into gym photos because I myself am not into fitness or taking care of myself. But if you're looking for someone like that, I'm sure that's what that would attract.
Okay.
But
so what did Cody have on his?
Cody had something that I would not normally go for on it with like looking for somebody on Tinder, because he had probably. I think you only had one picture. You might have had two, but neither one you could really see his face.
Every day,
the mysterious
I would change the pictures and the bio. And so,
really?
Well, I'd have a roommate who's undeniably a very attractive dude. He's hooking up with lots of ladies. And so I'm just workshopping. And so when we matched, I probably had just like one photo up and like a bullshit bio.
I remember it specifically. He was sitting outside, and I don't know if he was smoking a cigarette. You don't smoke. I don't know why I thought that.
It was at the time, a little bit.
He was sitting like on a patio, but it was like very colorful. Like there was a colorful filter on it, but it was from the angle of like his feet. So you could barely see his face. I could see some kind of instrument formation next to him.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, he's musical, he's like artsy with the filter, like I might be okay. And his bio was blank. So I just looked at the music, because on Tinder you can pick the music that you listen to. And that's what I guess made me swipe right.
And in hindsight, hearing that, I mean, that's not how my profile typically was. I would have not expected a match from that.
You would definitely experimental on that.
Yeah.
Had a lot to do with the pickup line. It was
Less is
different.
more. Just leave them guessing what's up about me.
Just have a group of your bros and try to guess which one I am.
I hate that.
I've seen that on Tinder. Yes.
It is like a game, though. It draws your interest.
Okay, so and just to get a little bit more specific on Tinder, so like. Again, I just older, not really down with the dating apps.
Sure.
Especially if it goes on looks. So no, I'm just kidding. So when you're setting up the profile, you have to learn the culture of that app. Are there different cultures for different apps?
I only ever tried Tinder.
Oh, okay.
I tried 2 or 3, and I'd say they're pretty different.
Okay.
I think Tinder just has that vibe of hookup culture. It attracts
Which
certain
I didn't
people.
know. I didn't know going into it.
Well, it's one of the most popular, I think.
Yeah.
But I think I had a Plenty of Fish, which I never really got on.
I remember finding you Plenty of Fish after we met.
Yeah, that
Because
was.
it was...
I think she had Googled.
It was the same as your email, because he put me on a Spotify play, so I knew his email.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Are you on Plenty of Fish?"
And I searched his email, which was like...
I mean,
It was like...
I was like sad, like trying to be heartfelt, and it's just
Yeah,
the
poetry
apps,
on there.
the apps do.
You called it. No.
They kind of enforce like a certain norm, I guess,
Right.
of how you want to present yourself.
Gotcha.
I would say.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like when I have used them, I've set them up. It's like, okay, this is like your category 1. What is like your best feature and
Right.
different questions, and that's how it gets the chemistry percentage or whatever, etc. So,
Yeah.
I definitely understand what you're saying. Okay, so we got that. We've established Tinder and how that works, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good little nugget right there.
Not our proudest story, but yeah.
Okay, so y'all swipe right. He messages a couple of times. You finally like, okay, cool. What about Cody? Said, okay, you know what? Amongst the other dudes that are hitting me up in my DMs, I'm gonna choose Cody.
Oof.
The pickup, I mean, because there's a lot of people I'd never responded to in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like, you swipe right, that doesn't mean, like, you're totally down to go out with somebody. So there's a lot of people I just ignored, but definitely the pickup line was witty. It was kind of offbeat. And then I think from there, he was interested, like, he asked questions, but also, not only that, like, before we got there, I knew that he was new to the area.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was new to San Antonio. He's from Houston, and
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I guess I like got really excited, like, okay, this guy's first experience might be with me, like his first memory in the city like might be with me, and so like I kind of got like a little like proud, I guess, like a little
I get you. Yeah.
a little like over excited, like I want to show this guy everything.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like his first blah blah, or like I want to be the first time he sees the Alamo, I want to be there, or like the first time we're on the Riverwalk, like with the Christmas lights, I want to be there.
In that very Selena-esque moment.
Yes. I just wanted to I wanted to take advantage of that. Like, he doesn't have any memories here, like, let's start something new.
Yeah.
Like a white blank page into San Antonio.
Which we both needed,
Cool.
I think, at the time.
So she responds to you. What's your thought?
I was getting a lot of matches around then. I mean, I wasn't.
Bing, 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 bing.
No, I mean, I wouldn't.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't say it like that.
No,
I don't
I'm
mean
kidding.
like that.
I know.
Compared to my friend, I wasn't getting much. But, you know, you'll get a lot of matches and then it won't go anywhere.
Right.
You won't get a date. And so, you know, it was hard for me to get dates. I think I had met with like 2 other people before I'd met you.
And you were my second that I didn't think was gay. My first that I didn't think was gay, but my second overall.
How many people did you meet?
My
that you
second.
thought were...
You were my second Tinder date.
Okay. Yeah.
The first one was just awful. We don't have to talk about it.
So I was excited. I mean, I think I did try to milk that. I used that a few times as like, I am new in the area.
Yeah.
And, you know, she kind of perked up to that. And then we had agreed to meet probably that weekend.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Yeah.
For sure.
And yeah, it was cool. I mean, you did show me some cool spots, which I liked.
We met at a very interesting time.
Yeah.
We were both 23, and we met
What?
when we were 20, about to turn 21.
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah, that was it, right?
We
about to
were
turn
just
21.
under 21.
Y'all met at 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
20 up in, okay.
Yes.
Man, y'all are young. Jesus Christ. All right. Y'all are 10 years younger than me. That's crazy. I love this
feel
stuff.
like it.
Yeah, but y'all don't act like it. I know that's such an immature thing to say to
No, I mean,
people
I
younger,
get
but
you.
y'all
I
are.
appreciate
Yeah.
it, I guess.
Okay, so y'all, where did y'all go? Y'all.
So I told them, I'm going to pick you up, and I'm going to show you the city.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take him downtown.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to show him something like maybe he doesn't know.
I had seen the Alamo as a kid, but I had just moved here.
Boring.
Yeah, it's like I hate, it's like, oh yeah, I got people that are coming to San Antonio for the first time, and it's like, you're gonna take them downtown, like.
Well, we went kind of down. We went to the other side downtown.
Yeah.
I took him to
Got
the
Broadway.
Japanese Tea Garden
Yeah.
and like Brackenridge. which is a nice like nature
favorite area,
If you're
yeah.
not from San Antonio and you visit the area, definitely visit that part of town. The zoo's over there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we went to this place where I tried to get a milkshake. Almost Pharmacy. I think they tore that down.
Yeah, now it's like is it a restaurant now?
Last time we tried to go, it was an empty lot.
Now it's, it's right.
They completely leveled it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we tried to go for our anniversary like a year later, and it was gone.
Womp, womp. Okay, cool. So, you know.
Good omen, right?
So this was relatively y'all's second Tinder date as far as like matches go? Like you were the second person y'all hung out with while using the...
Very awkward.
Yeah.
I was, to be transparent, I was high on our first date.
Oh.
And I was high like the majority of the first times that we were like meeting with each other. But it went well, and I think I'm a huge talker, and he's a huge
listener.
Not talker.
You say listener here on the show.
There you go.
So, the first thoughts though after that date, what happened?
It was.
We did not do it.
No, no. Like
so
when y'all shook hands
and
and
it was
parted
an awkward
ways.
hug. Yeah, it was an awkward hug. Goodbye.
Side hug.
I tried to go for the side hug. He went for the full-on hug, and I gave in. So it was like a half and half.
It was an Arnold Palmer hug.
Yeah, but it went well enough to, before I dropped him off, I invited him to, I was having a party for my friend at my house, which is in Bernie, which is kind of long drive from...
Shout out Bernie.
Yeah, shout out BTX. Edit that out.
No, we're leaving that in there. That's the title of this show, actually.
God.
Shout out BTX and your fucking traffic. I hate y'all. I'm stuck in traffic for 2 hours yesterday.
Yes. Okay.
That traffic was bad.
But I invited him to a party in Bernie.
But feeling wise, after y'all dispersed on that first date, like how did y'all feel?
I was excited. I hadn't met too many girls before that. I think I was probably nervous. I didn't really talk much or open up, but I was good like at texting and being funny, I think. And I think that's what I played too.
The Insta text is always good.
I mean, it's not always good, but
I liked it.
We were matching each other's enthusiasm, I think.
For sure.
You would text, I'd text. We'd be talking about random stuff.
It wasn't something you had to think about, like, oh, should I wait to text him back?
And see, I hate that.
Yeah.
Dating's complicated.
Yeah, it's like there's these unsung rules that you feel like you have to follow, but if you meet I feel like if you meet the right person that you vibe with, none of that matters. Like you
Goes
don't
out the
even
window.
think about it.
It's just you're hanging out with a friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's more. I hate the word simpatico.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that's how it should start. For sure.
I think a lot of times too. I think one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do this, you see a lot of guys be forceful, not in a violent in the violent term, but they're trying to force something that isn't there.
Right.
Well, girls are guilty of that too.
Absolutely. I think you see more primarily with guys because they're more vocal about it.
Like how?
As far as like, I did this, I did all of this, and you still don't want to be with me? Like, look at me, I'm the nice guy.
You something?
Yeah.
Expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unconditional. That's like my biggest thing. It should, everything you do for someone that you care about, it should be under the terms of it's unconditional. I'm not looking for anything in return. I see something in you, and I just want to express that in this type of way.
Which is hard to do when you both know that your intention is to like date somebody, or your intention is to like be with somebody. Like it's hard to do something with no intentions. It's hard to be nice without any expectation in return. But
absolutely. But I think if you go in it with like, hey, this is my shot and I'm going to take it, and if it doesn't work out, it didn't work out, but it's not because I didn't try.
At least you were honest with how you felt.
I was honest. This is how I feel.
Yeah. This
is what you can expect from me. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you should be treated. And
but boundaries are important too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get back on track to where, when did y'all decide to like, hey, you know what? This dating stuff's kind of boring. Let's be boyfriend and girlfriend.
It was a bumpy road, I'll say.
Yeah.
And
we both wanted that and I can say this now, like looking back, we both wanted that from the get-go. We wanted something serious. But meeting on Tinder, you don't know what the other person really wants. And you don't, like...
and now we're 20.
Yeah.
Confusing ass time.
In hindsight, I want to be forward, you know, and it just speeds things up. But yeah, I think there is that level of nerve. And I had just gotten out of a relationship. And I mean, our first few dates, they were bumpy. I didn't open up a lot. And I didn't really make too many moves.
Yeah.
Is there too much opening up?
Oh, yes.
As far as oversharing?
As a woman, yes, definitely. You feel vulnerable.
Well, so she says, if she had opened up 100% to you as far as, you know, this is who I am, this is my past, would that have scared you away?
I straight did that.
I mean, you did. You did pretty fast within the first few times we'd met.
Like the ugly things, too. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I think I was just over the bullshit of, like, being fake with people.
Yeah, and I definitely respected that. That was palpable. I guess it can scare people away, but I think if you're looking for a genuine connection, it doesn't, you know?
And in a way, you do it also, I feel like a lot of people who are vulnerable and open like that, they do it as, like, a way to, like, they want it reciprocated, you know? And, like, the more open I was and the less I felt like you reciprocated, because you were kind of a closed-off person when we met, still are.
For sure.
And I feel like the less I got back from it, the more I just, like, didn't give a fuck and just, like, kept opening up.
Yeah.
And it took a while, but eventually, like, I guess, I don't know, you realized that there's nothing I could say that's worse than what this girl's told me, or...
But I think the objective... the way I think it, like, subconsciously, it's like, I'm going to tell you everything. Like, my objective is to scare you away. But if you don't, that means you're a good one. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you could put up with, not that it's bullshit, but you can put up with my bullshit, like, in my past, my baggage that I've had. But what if Cody said, hey, what if Cody opened up to you 100%?
I feel like that would have been sexy as well. I feel like that would have been more sexy. Because, I don't know what I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm just...
Well, I think that changes all the time. I think as couples, you know, actually they mature into the relationship, what's sexy is just so... it's just very subjective. And it's like, your gray hair is sexy now, you old piece of shit. Like,
for sure. It's morphing.
But yeah, so, I mean, if he had opened up to you, like, you would... I mean... Either way, I mean, the end result was the same, but I mean, it still wouldn't have scared you off.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all. I think it would have given us more to build off of, more to relate to each other, because we were going through a lot of the same shit at the time. We're going through, like, we had just kind of given up on what we thought our futures were going to be.
Right.
Like, you had just quit school, I had just moved back with my parents, and we were kind of starting over, and so... I feel like we really started to connect when you did open up, and when we could relate on more things that were bad, I guess. More things that were hard to talk about.
It's always nice when two people have gone through shit in the past, and y'all can be like, oh shit, like you did that. It's
totally different.
Yeah.
Like we went through totally different things, but there's little underlying feelings that that are still potent and still relevant that we can talk about.
Absolutely. So. You open up, he doesn't scatter away, and y'all decide, hey, you know, this is going to be a thing.
Yeah. What was the song? Okay, so it took us like 4 dates to do it.
Hey, that's not bad.
Not bad.
No.
I mean,
what was the song we first did it to? It was like a really cheesy song.
Bad.
I don't know if you can play it. It's really bad. What do you call it?
80s song, The Safety Dance.
Yes.
But not intentionally. I think I had a playlist on.
Put that on that mix CD, dog.
But we were in the hot tub, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like I was like, I'm just gonna put on my music, and then that shuffled on when we were doing. It was like, oh man, like
we didn't finish. It was like we had a laugh attack.
Yeah, and so there are so many things.
No friends of mine.
Early on that I thought would scare you away. And, like, I didn't open up. I think by the second time we had hung out, I had crashed your car.
Oh, that's
So
true.
that is like
Whoa.
fucking wild.
Cody is the man. Not only did you crash your car on the second date, y'all are together 3 years. Cody, we
Still
salute
only
you.
$1,200.
Oh, we could talk
don't have to
about that.
No,
No.
we digress. We digress from that conversation if it's going to steer in that
No,
direction.
we're comfortable with it. We're just
Put it on my
My
tab.
leverage, yeah. No.
You
Yeah.
can't leave. You owe me $1,200.
But that was
Yeah.
not all your fault. I got a little too drunk that night, and he had to drive my car. So
and I had backed it
into
a truck, which
a
was
truck.
fine. I mean, they had a cattle guard.
at La
but-
Cantera, and then we had to drive away.
and I'm
off
just
the road.
profusely apologizing. She's drunk, so I'm like,
I'm like,
I
"Just
get if you
take
don't want
me
to see me
home."
again. And she's like, no, it's fine. Like, just let me give you shit. And I was thinking in the morning, like, you're gonna ghost me, or you're gonna send me a bill, or I don't know.
I didn't.
Yeah.
You made me go get a quote though. You were like, I just want to know, like, just in case.
I thought it would be like $300 of damage. It was like $1,000.
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty
not
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Got a new car, so we're good. We don't need to talk about it.
Not from me, but you did end up getting it.
All right, guys, we're straying away from the question. I'm
Sorry.
still trying to figure out how y'all got together.
Oh, yeah, this happens. I'm sorry. Okay.
I feel like it was slow, and yeah, the first few dates were just hanging out, friends, you know, and
There wasn't a solid moment. I don't think.
there
So
really
it was a safety
wasn't.
dance that did it?
It was
Tied it
the
in together?
safety dance.
It was the safety dance. It was like the pressure of like feeling like, okay, like all this is led up to like we're about to do it. And then the safety dance comes on and
Yeah.
we both just like crack up and like it's just a comfortable feeling.
Can y'all name that band?
No.
Men without hats?
Yes!
Yeah.
Cody's the man.
Yeah.
Men without
He
hats.
is the man without a hat in
Yeah.
this room too.
And
Oh, you
you're,
are.
You're the man with the hat.
I am.
Yeah.
And Marissa
Woman with
is
the
the
hat.
woman with the hat.
With the woman with the hat, yeah.
Yeah. Really quick, side quest. Have you ever gotten, like, hey, you look like this celebrity?
Maybe once or twice.
Who?
Her brother says I look like Bill Hader,
Yeah.
which
Kinda.
my grandma's told me, and
A very devilish, handsome man, I would say.
oh, you have someone in mind?
I do.
Oh, man.
Do you know who Elle Fanning is? Dakota Fanning's little sister?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
She thinks I look like Dakota Fanning's sister. She
got
put the
like
like
a-
woman
No,
Snapchat.
not at all.
A male
Robert
version.
Pattinson.
I've gotten that.
That's the best compliment
That is-
ever.
I appreciate that. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
it's very much so.
I've gotten that from one person.
It's
Yeah.
a very, very handsome man, sir. And
Thank
then I can't wait people to see y'all when I take y'all's picture after this.
Oh, I'm
God.
All right, cool. So y'all get together. Y'all living separate. How's it go? Let's talk about the
So-
first 6 months to a year.
yes.
For 6 months,
We spent a lot of time together.
I don't remember a lot of it.
I think
Yeah,
we were
it's
always
a flash, right? It really does.
we were matching each other's enthusiasm. You know, I wouldn't insta text back with most people, but since we were both seem to respond fast and want to hang out most of the time, I
By
think
when
that
do
made
you
it
think-
quicker.
By when do you think that like we were spending every night together?
I'd say early on, but I mean, a few months in, we were hanging out pretty much.
So I
Every
was
day.
living with my mom and my stepdad, and I had just moved back into like my old childhood bedroom, and it turned out, and Bernie is a far drive from San Antonio, and
Oh yeah.
it turned out that like he was still down to make that drive, like to come see me like after work every night, and
The
it just
man.
turned into, you know, like don't drive home, like just stay the night, and then eventually like my mom was like, does Cody live here now?
Yeah, because at the time I lived with
And then-
my best friend. I was living in a living room, sleeping on the floor. So, and that was another
No
thing.
privacy.
The first few dates, I didn't even let her into my crib because it's like, why? It was just
This
a
is my floor.
living room, no door, and then
Like,
my
let's gone
roommate's
that
bedroom.
door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was rough.
And then it didn't take us long after that to decide, okay, we need to get the fuck out of my parents' house. This is not working.
Yeah,
So I think by like 8 months, we had signed a lease.
it did
together.
expedited quick, and we were kind of wary. We're like, do we want to move in together? I mean, are we ready for that?
It was a wishy-washy couple months.
But it kind of accelerated it, and I'm happy where we're at now.
What do you think were some good solid rules? Because I mean, that's been over 2.5 years I've been living together.
Yep.
Pretty much
All
about
right.
2.5.
What's
God damn, yeah.
Now, so what is like an important rule to have, as far as y'all don't know each other that long, right? And y'all moving together maybe about 6 months after.
Well, I think it was very important to be like hyper aware of the fact that we didn't know each other very well, and like very aware of the fact that we hadn't been alone for very long, and like go into that with caution.
Yeah.
Which is a scary thing to do, for sure. Especially after, I don't know, like being in long relationships and I had lived with people before, and it gets stale very quickly.
Absolutely, yeah.
It can, yeah.
So I was worried about that, and I don't know, and I guess, what about you?
I had never lived with a significant other, really, so, I mean, I was wary of it, but I figured you were more wary of it from experience.
So a big thing for me, like, was when we do this, we have to have me time for each of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we haven't really stayed true to that, just because we're best friends. Like, there's
true.
nothing that we don't do together.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be away from your best friend. Like, even like I think girls get it more than guys. I think as you fall in love with your best friends, you really do. It's a different kind of love, but it's a really real, deep kind of love. And having that kind of impeding on like you growing as a person, but also helping you grow as a person is very confusing.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I was going with that. Like, I'm confused right now.
Sometimes I just start a sentence, not knowing where it's going to go.
Start talking.
You just start That's awesome. And what about you, Codes? I mean, like, and not even the bad parts. Like, what were you excited about? Like, you get to spend all day with your best friend, like this 24/7 slumber party. Yeah,
When
good.
our parents are never coming home.
Yeah, I was excited. I think I was mostly optimistic about it, but I don't think you're ever ready, especially if it's your first time living with a
100%.
significant
And the apartment that we chose that we still live in today has absolutely zero privacy. It's a one-bedroom loft, so there's like one door in the entire apartment to the bathroom that's like very tiny. And so like if I'm like mad and like want to slam doors, there's like nothing for me to do, or if I want to go and be alone.
Yeah, there's not
It's like
much
you have to pretend
privacy.
like you can't hear the other person.
Like, I'd be downstairs gaming, but there's a balcony with the bedroom right there. It's hard to adjust to that. And then
we're
also
still working on that, like making time to be apart.
Yeah.
And I mean, is that something that y'all want more of, as far as like, hey, we need it?
I think
as time goes on, the honeymoon. I mean, because in any relationship, that honeymoon phase wears off. It does.
And I think we're still in that, and we're aware of that.
Really, after all this time, that's so fucking awesome. No, I'm not even questioning it. Like, that's amazing.
I mean, we still are, but I think we do realize that's not always healthy. I mean, it's good to have your own
like
hobbies
my friend group definitely
Yeah.
shrunk being in a relationship, which I think is very normal.
Yeah, definitely.
You find out like who can make time for you and who you can make time for.
But also, too, I mean, you just got to make sure that, you tend to number one and number two.
Yeah.
You know, and versus like, hey, like, yeah, I have my significant other here. Yeah, that's my thing. And then, of course, if you do want to make time for your friends, you can. But it's not like an obligation or anything. There's so much of a burden.
I feel like it should be. I feel like it should be more of an obligation for a lot of people. Like, I don't feel like your significant other should be your only best friend.
I agree. I mean, you need outlets. You need other people, and that's
you need
something.
to be able to talk shit about your best friend every now and then.
And that's something we're kind of flipped on. I think we agree with that, but just because I don't know many people in San Antonio, I mean, even to this day, But I think I do somewhat resent the fact that we maybe spent too much time together early on, and you move from Bernie, which is a sacrifice.
But at the same time, I was leaving behind a lot of people that it wasn't good for me to be around. And it helps to find somebody who is good for you to be around to get you to realize that as well.
Yeah.
Maybe necessary even.
So there's a give and take to all that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely. Well, cool. I mean, so now we've established y'all's relationship and we got really good nuggets from that. So, and not to, I'm not poking fun of this at all whatsoever, but I know y'all are young, but I do want to ask y'all questions as far as, y'all's approach was definitely different. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's more common nowadays.
I guess,
For you youngins, but okay, so his approach, it is as far as if that was done in person, would that have worked?
Like at a bar or something?
Yeah, exactly. Did you
If
fall
he came
from?
up to me
Did
and
you
he
fall
said,
from
"Did it-
Tennessee,
did
or
it
did it hurt
hurt
when
when
you
you
fell
fell?"
from Tennessee?
There's no comparison because it's such a different atmosphere. Like you don't swipe right in a bar. You don't just walk up to a girl
I'm waving,
shooing the other ones away.
Shooing on their forehead. I'm swiping right, ma'am.
You're okay. I like that angle. No, but it's a totally different approach. And if you have to make a decision. I think. Are you good at like pursuing women on a dating app? Or are you going to be better in person?
Right.
And you just find out what you're more comfortable with. Most importantly, what you're comfortable with, like what you're comfortable posting, what you're comfortable putting out to people, and then after that, you find what works from you, either in a bar setting or in a dating app setting. And I think if Cody would have done that in a bar, it would have been much different. I would have laughed in his face, but I think it would have. It would have been like more like, oh, this guy's cool, he's funny, like maybe we can be friends, but not like.
Dang, could have been a totally different story.
Yeah.
It could have.
Holy shit.
Because there was no like sexuality towards it, because you didn't need it with Tinder, it's already kind of established.
The sexuality is already established in Tinder.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
I'd agree, and I probably wouldn't have done that in person.
Right. I think anyone does it in person. Yeah. Anyway, but Cody.
Yeah.
So, at the time, and I know you're 20, so you really weren't in the bar scene. What was your normal take before apps to approach girls, or was it just wait for them to approach you?
I think early on, I mean, high school, I didn't date or hook up a lot. College, I mean, I did start partying there, living in Corpus. Not going to bars, obviously, much, but house parties, I mean, dorm parties. And I mean, I didn't have too many serious relationships.
Yeah.
A lot of hookups and a few semi-long relationships, but... No, I mean...
It's the past.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't very good at just... what would be the term? Like cold call, just hitting on women, just out of nowhere.
Well, and it's surprising. I was surprised when I was so like attached to you, because you didn't really give me a lot to go off of. You didn't. I remember like trying to ask you questions when we were at almost like our first date.
Yeah.
And like, what do you want to eat? What's your what kind of milkshake do you like? Like I don't care, whatever you get. I'm like, dude, give me something.
And that's something I've done.
But it made me like pry, and I don't know if that's just the kind of person I am, but it made me like very curious.
He was dangling the carrot.
Yeah.
As far as like, you want more,
Yeah, and I don't think you meant to do it. You
not
were just fucking
strategically.
exhausted on our first date. You had just ran a 5K, right?
I had driven from Corpus that morning, or no, Rockport to Austin and ran a 5K, and then driven back to San Antonio.
It's understandable, but still.
Yeah, definitely. And Marissa, like, should in your particular experience, should guys be more open as far as when approaching women, or should just start conversations, establish what their establish what their purpose is.
It's so hard to answer such a general question because everybody's different. Everybody's looking for somebody different. And if you're looking for somebody like me, I guess, anecdotally, my experience, I would say asking questions is great. As being curious, but not like creepily curious.
Yeah.
Being like just maybe shutting up for a little bit, which is something I struggle with. But maybe if that's the kind of girl you like, then maybe just shut up. But if you're like maybe wanting to be, if you're more type A personality, like I don't know how you would go about that. Like, that would be a different guest for you or something.
For sure, definitely.
It's just such a general question.
Yeah. And how would you want girls to approach you if you were in the market, Cody, or do you think that's the guy's job?
I don't necessarily agree with it being the guy's job.
Yeah.
I think girls could definitely
It shouldn't be a job in the first place.
Right. I use that term loosely.
Yeah.
The expectation of the double standards of the males, courting the women, and like, hey, I like you. We're gonna go out.
Yeah.
I think girls definitely put signals out there and try and ways they're comfortable with. I think guys maybe either miss it or girls aren't forward enough in some instances.
I feel the opposite.
Do you?
I feel like if a girl approaches a man, it's often construed as way more willing than they mean to be, or way more. I'm looking for the right word.
As if she's an aggressive type.
As if she's.
You mistake their intention.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Like if a girl just is like, hey, I like that shirt, and like touches your arm or something, I feel like a guy goes a little more crazy than he
wants
should.
me.
Yes, exactly. Whereas like
she really likes the shirt, or maybe she
just
that was
trying
an
to break the
ice. Yeah, exactly.
That's true, I guess.
So I feel like that's why a lot of women are afraid to approach first because of how they've been construed in the past.
I was definitely afraid to approach, and I think lots of guys are. I think whether you're a girl or guy, I think as long as you just seem enthused and can relate on a topic and be passionate about something, like that's what's attractive to other people.
We were psyched that we both knew New Order and Velvet Underground was like a big thing for us. The music thing was big.
Early on.
Y'all are just awesome.
Yeah, you gotta find something, even something little early on. That you can grow off of.
What's your favorite New Order song?
Ooh, you have
I
one?
like Temptation.
Okay.
Ceremony's good.
Yeah.
Age of Consent.
Age of Consent's pretty good. Blue Monday, I like Blue Monday.
We're just naming all the popular ones, I think, but those are honestly like some of the
Bizarre
best
Love
ones.
Triangle slaps.
Yeah.
Deep cuts. Guys, I gotta say, before we end this, y'all look like a beautiful couple. I know I'm your elder in a time. I wish nothing but the best for y'all. Y'all look extremely perfect together.
Thank you.
I couldn't be happier to have my first couple on this series than y'all. I want to thank you so much. He wasn't that bad, right?
No,
it really wasn't
it
that
went by
bad.
fast.
It really did. It really went by quick. I want to thank you again for coming on.
Yes,
and y'all are welcome
This was so
to come
fun.
back, at any time for any.
We love you, Tank. This is awesome.
I love y'all
thank
too.
you.
But yeah, thank you again for listening, guys. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating review, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.